Hello and good morning. Hello and good morning. Happy October. It's your Pisces MC, Trevor Quincy. Today is Monday, October 2nd, 2023. And here's what we got going on in the sky currently. Right now, major focus is going to be on relationships, partnerships, interpersonal connection, business, contracts, marriage, and union with that sun in Libra. Now, the sun is actually coming close to a conjunction with Mars. We won't see that for another, I would say, a week or two. But if Mars actually slows down, we may get the conjunction closer to, but depending on which astrologer you go to, they would consider that to be the conjunction. I would say that it's coming into the conjunction. It's not quite there, okay? But I will say with Mars in Libra, it is bringing energy and drive to relationships, partnerships, interpersonal connection in general, as well as business dealings. Just watch out for impulsive and spontaneous interactions within those themes as well. You'd be a-okay. Now, also with Mars in Libra, Mars is in detriment in the sign of Libra, so that means it's going to need a little bit more effort. And the only reason why I want to pay attention specifically to Mars in Libra is because not only is the North Node expressing itself through that Mars in Libra, but also Chiron is too. And when the North Node and Chiron are expressing itself through a specific sign that's opposite from it, balance is going to be required here, okay? So for starters, with the North Node in Aries, fated events are going to happen specifically around self-identity, independence, taking action towards life's direction, okay? But with this taking place in Libra, relationships are also going to have an influence on this, as well as business dealings, if in the case that you are working on your own business or you're in a partnership with somebody business-wise as well too. With Chiron here, wounds can definitely come up around the self, perhaps maybe feeling shut down or feeling like you can't be yourself around relationships, partnerships, interpersonal connection. Be sure to do for you, really just taking action towards your own life's direction, but thinking before we're doing, okay? Because when anything is in Libra, we want to think before we do instead of doing now and then thinking later, all right? But moving on, we do have Pluto in Capricorn. It is in retrograde currently. When Pluto is retrograde, it's asking us to revisit and reevaluate any lessons pertaining to any hardships that we may have gone through, any lessons pertaining to career status, legacy, life's work, and also karma too, because Capricorn does rule over karmic dealings too, especially when Pluto is here. This can bring transformation in these areas, but when it's retrograde, it's asking us to reevaluate any past lessons that we've already learned, okay? Also in the United States, we're going through our second return, or our second wave of the Pluto return here. In the United States birth chart, Pluto is actually in Capricorn at 27 degrees, but 33 arc minutes. And right now, Pluto is actually at 27 degrees, 55 arc minutes, it looks like, but it is retrograde, and we can actually see a very high possibility of having a second wave of the Pluto return. And what does that look like for those that are actually within the United States? You're seeing people that are in positions of authority, celebrities, people that actually work in government, people that are big business owners, or perhaps the heads of these major corporations. You're seeing them having this fall from grace. You're seeing the truth being exposed. You're seeing people for who they truly are, okay? The only reason that this is because when Pluto ingresses into Aquarius, it's a community energy, very humanitarian-like, and it does for the collective. And if you're not doing for the collective, but rather yourself, you're going to be exposed within these last few degrees of Capricorn, because Capricorn does do for the collective, but does it for self-gain, whereas Aquarius does it for the greater good of the collective as well. So if you're not ready to make that shift, people will definitely be exposed for whatever they're doing during this time as well. So I will say that during this energy, be sure to reevaluate your own lessons, because there could be some transformation happening wherever Capricorn lies within your chart. So I would say pay attention to that as well, okay? Moving on, we do have Saturn in Pisces as well as Neptune in Pisces. They're both retrograde planets here. It is really important to pay attention to your dreams, any visions that you're having during this time as well. This can actually help you to make your dreams a tangible reality by giving you ideas, or just helping you to simply execute any ideas that you may have during this time as well too. But with Neptune's influence here, just be sure to not fall into any false illusions to what your dreams may be showing you on how to take action towards your goals or your dreams as well. Also, be sure to set up some energetic boundaries. Perhaps maybe some of us could be taking on energies that is not ours, so that could be a karmic lesson to learn during this time too. Also, lessons around escapism is also going to be applicable to this Saturn and Pisces transit too. Of course, Saturn is in retrograde, so revisiting any lessons pertaining to those hardships that we could have gone through, or just making our dreams a tangible reality. Hey Laura, how you doing? All right, let's see here. We already went over North Node and Chiron. We also have Jupiter, the moon, and we also have Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Right now, moon is actually at a critical degree. It's actually exalted in the sign of Taurus too, so emotional stability can definitely be seen over the next couple of days. I will say with Jupiter's retrograde, it can usually bring presence from when it was direct, so depending on whatever you did within whatever area of life Taurus may be in for you, Jupiter can be giving blessings for you during this time. Now, I will say that during this time, it's now a great time to take a look at any opportunities that have come in your recent past that have really emotionally fulfilled you in some way. They've contributed greatly to your emotional well-being. Now, there could be some sudden emotional changes coming up that are going to help you to establish your worth and value, or perhaps it's really asking you to reevaluate certain things pertaining to building up your worth and value, equating that to money, or perhaps finding a balance between giving and receiving too. When Uranus is in Taurus, it's really asking us be sure that we're not spending more than what is coming in. Of course, it's also asking us to when is enough, okay? Because when you have Taurus placements, your patience is going to be tested, because usually whenever you have Taurus, whatever you're building is going to be around for a long time, or whatever you're putting your energy towards, it's going to be around for a while. And so with Uranus here, it's really asking us when enough is enough. That way, if our patience is being tested, we can now start to contribute that towards our worth and value as well too. All right, moving on, we do have Venus in Leo. Venus in Leo is really asking us to become more confident to express our authentic selves when it comes to relationships, partnerships, interpersonal connection, business contracts, as well as our own personal worth and value as well. What is it that we actually want in a relationship, and what is going to make us feel the most comfortable? What is actually going to contribute to our lives in terms of relationships or our own personal worth and value? And where may we be undervaluing ourselves, perhaps not really giving enough energy, okay? And so wherever that may be for you, Venus is actually a great energy here. Venus does great in the sign of Leo, also does well in the 5th house. It's in planetary joy there. But I will say that during Venus and Leo, just make sure to watch out for overindulging, too much self-splurging too, okay? And then we have Mercury in Virgo. Now, Mercury recently got out of retrograde. We're still in the shadow period for the next couple of weeks. But I will say with Mercury in Virgo, it's a very exalted energy, very strong energy. Anything in terms of communication, community, developing your skills, it's really going to contribute within your day-to-day. So where can you utilize your skills and develop them towards your own personal development journey? Watch for self-criticism during this time for yourself and for others as well. But with Mercury in Virgo, just be sure that you're not overworking yourself to your detriment. But usually Mercury in Virgo is a very strong energy. You tend to organize things in a way to where you're spending time for yourself, but you're also trying to better yourself as well too, okay? That's all I'm seeing for the current transit so far. Today we are doing readings. It's going to be $15 So if in the case that you like a reading, all you have to do is send $15 to TRZO LLC, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. The name is synonymous through all 3 platforms. All you have to do is just send your birth information, like time, date, location, like the example that you see right up there. For international birthdays, all you have to do is format that month, day, year instead of day, month, year, because we're not in Europe as much as we would want to be. And if in the case you forget to send your information, that's okay. You could just send it to my Instagram at TRZO, TRESCZO. But we are offering a free reading to the first person who can correctly answer the following. Which house, other than the 10th house, can show how one operates daily within their career? Which house, other than the 10th house, can show how one operates daily within their career? And I'm looking forward to see your responses. You can comment them down below. The first person who gets it correct will get a free reading, okay? Speaking about readings, if you're interested in booking a private reading, if in the case that you don't want a live reading today, it's really important to go to the link in my bio under Universal Analysis. You can book a private reading with me, okay? I offer astrology, numerology, and I offer tarot services. I can even do combo for you if in the case that you're interested. But you can look at the prices and the services that I offer as well. The link is in the bio for that. And then if in the case that you're interested in any astrology books, I actually wrote 2. The first one is called The Beginner's Guide to Life Astrology Edition. This teaches you all you need to know about astrology basics. It also teaches you how to read your chart, look at God. If you're interested in that, that's also in the link in my bio. And then if in the case that you're past the astrology basics and you just want to know more about sidereal astrology, true sidereal, draconic, and persona charts, you definitely want to look at the astrological tea, Falling Down the Rabbit Hole, that tells you all that you need to know in regards to the different systems of astrology, as far as what to look for, what not to look for, how to discern the energy, all that fun stuff. That's all in the link in my bio under Trevor Sebastian Publishing, okay? So the question is, again, which house other than the 10th house can show how one operates daily within their career? First person to answer correctly gets a free reading. Okay, let's see here. You know the answer. Do you know the answer? But did I get a reading last time? So I don't want to answer. You could answer. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you could always give it to somebody else if you'd like to. Sixth house, good guess. 11th house, good guess too. That is not it, okay? But I'm going to start a poll. Hopefully you guys see it because I know some people don't get the polls, some people do. I don't know what's up with that. I know that like we're on many different versions of TikTok. I remember seeing a video like months ago that said that we're on 100 different versions of TikTok. So the TikTok version that I have, it may not be the one that you have. So some people have polls, some people don't. Some people have like the dual screen that I have right now, some people don't. So I don't know. You got to take that up with TikTok, okay? So let's see here. By the way, I'll give you a hint for the free reading question, okay? The free reading question, you want to use derivative astrology. Derivative astrology. It's what we talked about last week on Friday. I believe we also did it on Wednesday too. But you want to use derivative astrology, okay? We're just waiting for more people to come in, but how's everybody doing this morning? How's everybody's weekend? What did everybody do? I went out. I went out to eat on Friday. I forgot where we went. I forgot where we went. I think we didn't go to Conan's Pizza on Friday, did we? Maybe I did. I remember getting pizza on Friday, and then Saturday was a laid-back day, pretty easy, but it was a fun weekend for me for the most part. Maybe the 12th. Good guess, good guess. Hello, I'm unsure it was for me. Well, whoever wins it, it's up to you what you do with the free reading. Oh, let me put back up the question so you guys don't forget it. But which house, other than the 10th, can show how one operates daily within their career? Let's see here. We're going to turn that off. But yeah, that was weekend. I don't know. October feels different. You know, the sun is in my 4th house currently. But I don't know, the month of my birthday, because my birthday's at the end of this month, so I'm really excited for that. But I'm really looking forward to this upcoming weekend and next weekend because I'm traveling. I'm taking some trips. That's right. I mean, I'm staying statewide, but I'm just getting out of the city that I'm in currently right now. But I'm excited for that this weekend. I'm leaving Saturday, and then next weekend I'm leaving, I think, Friday. So I'm excited. I'm excited to travel. All right, so we have some new guesses here. Maybe the 12th, that's good guess. 2nd house, good guess. Good guess. Travel king. That's right. That's right. Got to serve that airport aesthetic. Speaking of which, do when you guys travel in the airport, do you guys get dressed up, or do you guys are just like, I'm not trying to, do here today. I'm just trying to be on my way. Because for me, I'm not going to lie, in New York, if I were to go to JFK, I would always serve airport aesthetic. I'm not going to lie. And then when I went to LaGuardia, I kind of just did not care because I didn't do my hair that day. I wasn't trying to be in front of the patrons and, but yeah, in New York, JFK was definitely that airport to serve aesthetic. Here, I don't know, like you could serve it, but people really aren't really gonna they don't really serve the aesthetic at the airport that I live at now, or towards now. Do I do card readings? I don't do card readings at the moment. I stopped tarot readings for my live at the moment. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, it's just, let me just put that. Yeah, yep, it's probably 6th house. It is not the 6th house. Who was close? Somebody was close. New Palm was closest, but it is not the 6th house. Can you do solar return? I can do solar return. I can absolutely do solar return charts. Speaking of solar returns, for those that have solar returns coming up or recently got into one, what's your ascendant for the year? What's your ascendant for the year? Is anybody still here? Everybody listening? Good morning, good morning. What are solar returns? So every year when you have a birthday and the sun crosses over the exact degree and arc minute that was at in your own personal chart, a new chart for that year will be casted. Now, a solar return chart's only applicable for, like, say for instance, if your birthday's tomorrow, it's only applicable from tomorrow to your next birthday in 2024, okay? Only good for 1 year. But a solar return chart's going to show you the themes, the lessons, the blessings that may play out over that next year for you. And so it's a great predictive technique to show you what's going to happen and what events may play out, and if you're going to move, if you're going to learn more about yourself, if you're going through a transformation. Solar return charts show you all that. Ooh, why did I not know about this? Oh, yes. And then there's even more in depth with solar return charts. You have the precessed and the non-precessed solar return chart. So the non-precessed solar return chart, that's the one that you pretty much heard about. You know, if you're going to look at your solar return chart, you're probably going to look at it in the tropical perspective. Placidus whole sign doesn't really matter, but you're probably looking at it through the tropical lens. That's going to be your non-precessed chart. Now, your precessed chart, or that's your sidereal solar return chart. But you don't just change the chart to sidereal. Now you have a sidereal sun placement too. That sun has to cross that sun sidereal placement in order for your sidereal precessed chart to be casted as well. So you have two solar return charts to look at. Sorry, I was distracted. Oh, you're fine. Do you use solar return ruler as a second lord of the year? Do I use my solar return ruler? Because my solar return this year was Cancer. So that was a first house year. But in terms of my solar return ruler, I don't correlate that to my prophetic years. Like I know my prophetic year. I'm going actually into a third year. But get this, by the way, my solar return ascendant this year is going to be Virgo. And I'm going into my third house perfection year, which is ruled by Virgo. So in this case, yes, my solar return ruler would be the same as my third house. But usually it doesn't have to be. It could be, but it's usually not. But what I'm starting to look at my solar return chart as is like the events that are going to happen and how I'm going to approach that, Ooh, 2023 was my third house year. Was it a social year for you? Was it a social year? Let's see what's going on in the polls right now. We have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius at 25, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn at 50, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius got the chop, and Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces is at 25, tied with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Kinda, yeah. I'm hoping it's gonna be social this year because it's gonna be third housey. I have a Virgo ascendant, which is my third house, and then my sun, I think Mercury and something else. I would have to pull it up, but I know I have like a lot of third house placements in my solar return. It's my third house sign that's on the ascendant this year, so it's going to be very third housey. Let's see. I recommend using the ruler of the solar return too, like the transits of it in natal and solar. Okay, so this year was moon. Next year, or this upcoming year, is going to be Mercury. Now, can I apply that to sidereal? Because in sidereal, my precessed solar return chart will be Jupiter rules, because guess who's going to be a Sagittarius ascendant in their precessed solar return? So hopefully I do travel. Who knows? Return can be important. I definitely have to implement that too, because this year felt like an authentic year. I did feel like more like myself this year. And then next year, I'm like, I really don't know what's going to be mercurial. It's not that I don't mind mercurial energy, but my Mercury's in Scorpio. So I'm like, I don't want a transformation. No, let's see. Unfortunately, I don't know how the Vedic babes do it. Tough. It's just tough. Why do they have to go on and make their own rules? They just got to pay attention to the sky. And here we are paying attention to our emotions. Just kidding. But I would assume that they would use the precessed solar return since it's sidereal, but I don't know. All right. Has anybody... let's see here. Has anybody answered yet? Let's see. It's my ninth house perfection year. Oh, we love a ninth house perfection year. Aries North Node falling in my fourth or fifth, so I want to move. Do you know where you would like to move? Do you have any thoughts or ideas as to where you would want to move? But Aries North... Oh, also, by the way, I don't know if anybody else is seeing, traffic is getting crazy. People are getting into accidents left and right. People are definitely so impulsive to get home. I don't know if it's the North Node in Aries, but I was noticing it when the North Node was still in Taurus. I'm just gonna, maybe I'm taking a stretch. I'm gonna say Jupiter in Aries and sidereal. I don't know, I have two cities I'd like to move to, but work ties me to my current city. Gotcha. Hopefully one of those cities are warmer. By the way, it's starting to get colder here. We had our last 100-degree day last week, and now it's starting to slowly dip into the 90s and the 80s. And this morning it was 65, and I'm like, And so it begins. The fall season begins, and I'm like, oh. The only thing I'm looking forward to is my birthday at the end of the month. It could be since the North Node increases Aries, aka Mars energy. Good perspective. Now it's in Libra though. Like Mars right now is in Libra, so this could be why other people are frustrated. I said what I said. But I don't know. I've just noticed, like, at least here in Texas, like a lot of people have been getting into accidents, and then people gotta be nosy, so they'll slow down and they'll be, oh my god, and then keep driving. Now my roommate, like, he'll be the type of person to be like, oh, why are you guys all slowing down? Then he'll slow down and look at the accident and then keep it moving too. But I don't know, like the North Node energy in Aries, like I'm just noticing a whole lot more like people like reckless driving. Although like Aries is not the first thing that I would go to for driving, but I'm just noticing that the energy is just more so like impulsive and let's go here and let's just do it now. You know what I mean? But I just personally, because it was happening, I first noticed it in January, February-ish, when the node was still in Taurus. I know Chiron was in Aries, but I'm like, Chiron and Aries really causing like traffic problems? Yeah, good luck. But like, I thought it was Jupiter and Aries in sidereal, because I remember like, it was, I think, January, February, I remember being home and trying to like get home. There was literally a big sign saying slow down, and the first thing I thought was Aries energy. But in tropical, nothing other than Chiron was in Aries. In sidereal, Jupiter, Uranus, and the North Node at the time were all in Aries in sidereal. I don't know. All right, well, I guess nobody wants the free reading then. I guess we stopped guessing. But the right answer was the third house. It was the third house that can also show the daily operations within your career, okay? How did I get the third house? Let's take a look at this chart right here. So if we're looking at the chart and we're looking at all the houses, I do want to go to whole sign. I don't want you guys to get distracted with like the Placidus. I mean, you can apply it to Placidus. I'd just rather not. I'd rather use whole sign. That way it's easier. But, so we're looking at the 10th house here. So I'm going to use whole sign. That way you guys get familiar with the signs being the houses. You guys can also use Placidus, that's fine too. But we're using each sign as a house. The 10th house in this chart would be Leo. So if I want to know what the day-to-day is going to be like within your career, I want to go 6 places from itself, because the 6th house traditionally represents our daily operations, day-to-day endeavors, work schedule, routine around personal development, and physical health as well. We don't like Placidus. Ew, T, I'm screaming. However, when we're using derivative astrology, we always want to use the house in question. We always want to count that as the first house, okay? So if we're counting 6 places away from the 10th house, we're always going to start with the 10th. So 10th, 11th, 12th, 1, 2, 3. So the third house will be the 6th places from the 10th. That will show you what your day-to-day will be like working towards your career. It's also going to show you what skills you're going to develop to make your career better, to bring you into longevity. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed that when I say like the 3rd, the 6th, the 10th, and the 11th house, they're what we call in Vedic astrology the Upacha houses, because these are the houses that get better over a span of time because they deal with skill and longevity, and you need time to get better in developing your skills. You need time to develop longevity as well. And so the 3rd house is 6 places from the 10th. It could show you any issues that may come in, any enemies, closed enemies per se, within career status, legacy, and life's work. It can also show us how you can be of service to other people within your career status, legacy, and life's work, and how you can develop yourself personally on a personal level to become the best version of yourself within your career status, legacy, and life's work as well. So that 3rd house is definitely very innovative, very unique in its own expression. Not like Aquarius unique, but more just unique. But I guess nobody gets the reading today. That's okay. So I guess today's just going to be a Q&A then, if people will chat, if people are open to chatting, you know. But other than that, I'll just leave this up. And we'll just chat today, because it is astrology and chat. But how's everybody doing? If you guys have any astrology questions, feel free to ask me. You could just comment down below, or not, and then we'll just chat. But also, I did put, I didn't put out new, music as, my own original music, but I did help my roommate out. I put some visuals out. That's also on my profile if you'd like to see, too. Let's see. I got 3rd house Mercury, Venus, and Neptune in Capricorn, sending thoughts and prayers. You know, well, Neptune's not that bad in Capricorn. It's actually great if you want to be, an artist, a singer, a musician, or if you want to express yourself in a creative way. But I will say here, other people like what you have to say. Other people like when you're expressing your opinion, expressing your your thoughts, putting yourself out there and speaking up for yourself, just be sure not to fall into the false illusionment of developing your skills and developing your communication, just putting in the actual work. But watch for gossip, watch for spreading misinformation, could be karmic for you. All right. Venus is my chart ruler. Saturn is 14 degrees away from it. Is Saturn influenced it at all? That depends on the astrologer here. Now, with the astrologers, and I was saying that when I was doing the current transit chart, certain astrologers consider that to be a conjunction. I use a 10-degree range, so it really depends on the astrologer that you're talking to. For me, I would say it's a little over my range, so I wouldn't consider it to have an influence. It is in the same sign, so you may feel a bit restricted. I would say in regards to your personality, perhaps identity, maybe in the beginning of life, or even in your progress chart as life moves on, but it wouldn't have a major impact if it was closer in a conjunction. That's just my opinion. Oh, love that for you guys. I know that's right. Let's see here. I'm sending payment if we can look at solar return. Oh yeah, no worries. No worries. Take your time. Is it in the same sign? Is it in the same sign? Let's see here. Jupiter has associations with law. I don't know, though. I mean, yeah, it does have associations with law, but with Jupiter in Aries, I'm like, I don't know. I just found the expansion of, like, impulse and the I'm going to do what I want to do energy. And that was early in the year. I don't see it as much now. Like, I see it here and there. But yesterday when we were driving, there was this big accident. And everyone was like, oh, my God, you know? And they were just looking at it. And then, like, that was causing traffic in itself, too. Do I use whole sign or Placidus? I prefer to use whole sign. I do use Placidus for some people, just for examples. Or if people are just most comfortable with Placidus, I'd rather use Placidus juxtapose whole sign because I don't want to bring them a new, system and then they're like, oh my God, but I would use both if I had the choice. If I had the time too, I'd use both. Whole sign's great for showing you how the planets will manifest, how everything's going to show up in your life, and specifically what energy is showing up in which area of life too. Whereas Placidus is great for psychological analysis. It shows you why you make the decisions that you do, helps you to understand yourself. The thing between sidereal and tropical astrology is Placidus can show us the psychological reasonings and why we make the choices, but tropical astrology is actually how we see ourselves, how we interact with each other, the world, this 3D. That is very tropical astrology. Sidereal astrology, it's what's going on in the sky. You can't argue that, and that's going to be the reality of how your energy is going to play out, how things will manifest in your life, the events that play out, certain situations that play out, that's all sidereal. You can't affect that energy. You can move, but the energy's still going to play out regardless. Then you have draconic, that's your soul self, that's basically your higher self, who your higher self was before it incarnated into this physical body, but you could still access that energy too. But I'm going off a tangent here, but I use both whole sign and Placidus. I just prefer whole sign. All right, let's see here. All right. I guess everybody's quiet today. I'm just waiting for New Palm to send so we can look at the solar return today. Yes, first house Saturn and Gemini, second house Gemini Venus. I'm a Taurus ascendant. Oh, so that technically I'd say that the Saturn would be in the second house. You may feel it as a second house. What was it? You may feel it as a second house Saturn, or it may manifest as a second house Saturn, even if you may take it on, or you may view it as a first house Saturn. Now, I will say with first house Saturns, any action that you're taking towards your life's direction, it needs consistency, structure, and organization around it. When it's in the second house, you will definitely be tested by the universe. Your patience will be tested. So ask yourself when enough is enough, because that'll help you to not only establish your worth and value, but it also helps you to see your own worth for what it is. The reality of what your worth and your value is, and giving back to yourself, and then you start becoming better within that, because Saturn wants you to master that. What rising did the nicest person you have you ever met, if you know about it? Let's see here. Nicest person I've ever met. So the nicest person I've ever met, I guess I would just have to say like my friend group. So it's multiple people here. My friend group, we call ourselves the Astro Tribe because at the time when I was on Clubhouse, we did astrology and we did tarot in a morning room every day. And so, I hope I spelled your name right. I did. We did a morning group every morning. So we did astrology and tarot. And so I'd say rising sign, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo, Capricorn. Yeah. Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo, Capricorn. Those are the nicest I've ever met. And they're all balanced because we were all in a group. So, yeah. All right, Desiree, we're going to get to you. You said you wanted your solar return charts from New Jersey. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is we're going to look for it. Solar return charts. We're doing the bone dance. You study the answers again and again till I get it right. You live and you learn it. Word. And now I take it home to the parietal bone. It might be crazy. I do it anyway. Does anybody remember that from Hannah Montana from, I think, at this point, it was probably almost 20 years ago. That's crazy, too. Let's see, 1989. But that came in my head for some reason. Oh, 2 Jupiter babes, I see. Yes, we love the Jupiter energy over here. Although Jupiter's in my 8th house. You know what, though? Despite popular opinion, I love having Saturn in my 8th house. And everybody's like, oh my God, the 8th house, it's so scary, you never know. But I'm like, maybe I should be a spokesperson for the 8th house because I'm like, I love 8th house energy. I tend to have better transits when I have transits going through my 8th house. Juxtapose, like, for instance, my Jupiter return, though, wasn't the worst. But I'm actually excited to see my Saturn return because I've had 10th house transits and they were great. You know, they were Saturnian. But I've had better experiences with my 8th house transits than I did my 10th house transits. Yay, you switched to Astro Seek. Wait, not you shading Astro Charts. Now, I'm only using Astro Seek because of the solar return. Because Astro Charts doesn't have it. I feel shaded. Let's see. All right, let's take a look at this solar return here. Is Desiree still here? Yes. Is Desiree still here? All right. I just want to know what your natal ascendant is. All right. Is that a Virgo ascendant? Yes, it is. All right. So we have a 4th house activation going on for you here this year. Haha, I'm sorry. Oh, no worries. You don't need to apologize. I'm just the slander. Do you have something against the astro charts? It may be because Jupiter is a benefic and your Saturn is 10th house is debilitated. Fair. Could be fair. You know, but like, I don't know. When, what was it? When Jupiter was going through my 10th house and remember when everything was in Aries, that was all happening in my 10th house. And that was a good time. Like, that was really a great time. But my 8th house being in Aquarius, that Jupiter return, like, it wasn't the worst. You know, it wasn't like, oh my God. But like, when Saturn was transiting my 8th house, I had such a great time during that. Saturn right now is in my 9th house. Oh my God. Beliefs scrammed, like everything. I don't know. I just don't really vibe with astro charts. It's not for everybody. I get it. Plus, their degrees are a little off, but like, I still like the setup. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, Virgo ascendant here. 4th house activation. It's interesting. Did you? You didn't say that you wanted to move this year, right? Because that's actually a possibility for you. Also, by the way, not us having the same ascendant for the solar return this year, Ryan. But Venus is gonna be in the 1st house here. That's gonna add charm and harmony to your personality here. It's gonna add a nice balance here too. But watch out for giving to other people. This upcoming year to your detriment. Also watch out for people pleasing too, okay? South Node energy in that 2nd house, use this as a spiritual lens, okay? Or use this as a spiritual energy too. The South Node is not just the energy that we need to get out of. It's the energy that can help us to become our most spiritual selves. It is traditionally ruled by Saturn, however, so you may feel a bit restricted in this area, but for the most part, there are natural gifts that you can utilize here. Other people can definitely help you out within establishing your resources for yourself, or perhaps establishing your worth and value, all right? Moving on. We do have the party in the 3rd house here. I feel like I'm looking at my own solar return chart here because I actually have the same line. Did I enter the right information? No, I didn't. Just kidding. Give me 1 second. Oh, I did. Let's see here. Oh, that's why we have the same solar return chart, because your birthday's the day right after mine. That's why I was like, we have legit the same setup. I felt like I was looking at my own, but we have the same. Your birthday's the day after mine, so happy almost birthday. Are you excited? But we have Sun, Mars, and Mercury in that third house whole sign. It's gonna be in the second house there too. You're gonna have those things, but it's gonna pop into the third house. This year's really going to be about establishing that worth and value, really building on any resources to help you towards the future. Also, it's going to be about a year of money, so it's going to be really nice. Just don't over obsess with money here. Also, don't rush into any opportunity just for the sake of money too. You may benefit from multiple sources of income this year. Okay, this is also going to be a year where you're going to learn a lot about your worth and value. Other people can definitely see it. It's up to you to see it within yourself. Financially, this is going to be a year where you may suddenly come into an inheritance, or you may suddenly come into a windfall of money, but watch out, because that money can definitely be spent quite as easily too, with Uranus's influence in that 8th house. So just watch out for overly spending too, all right? Nothing in Sagittarius. We have Pluto in Capricorn in that 4th whole sign, and it's also going to be in Placidus too. Could be some transformation where you are currently, or perhaps maybe some things may be revisited from your below the surface. So be sure that you're prioritizing your healing journey in regards to your early childhood, okay? This is going to go in tandem with your with stepping into your power, and this may happen suddenly. So I will say, when it does happen, just be sure that you're going below the surface, accepting the darker aspects of life, making peace with your past here, okay? Now, you almost have a grand trine here, but I want to be a little nosy, because I just want to say where Venus is at 21 and Pluto's at 27. I'd still consider it a grand trine. It's just affecting your 4, 8, and 12 houses. Got to be a very introspective year for you. Great year to heal. Great year to get anything from below the surface out. Great year to really step into your power and let go of what no longer serves you anymore, okay? Could be a lot of things around siblings, traveling, close friends, spirituality, and money stuff. That can also affect you too, in regards to not lower, but more physical. Because, I don't know, also, Laura, I don't know if you watched, 0 Degrees Taurus. She made a video, and I watched it last week, and she was saying that the 9th house is, of course, higher education, higher spirituality, but 3rd house can be underground spirituality too. And ever since she said that, I was like, that something within me clicked, because I was like, I resonate with that since my North Node is in the 3rd house, and I've always felt like my spirituality has been a little bit different. But you could be definitely doing spirituality or focusing on spirituality that could be more underground, or perhaps many people may not resonate with it. But I will say, since you have the moon in the 9th house, spirituality will definitely be at the forefront in terms of emotional fulfillment for you. Stay curious around any belief systems during this time, any philosophy, or any information that you may have. Definitely share that out with other people, but it's best to stay curious, okay? Not being too dogmatic in regards to finding a belief system, but moving towards your life's purpose as well, taking action, could also help you to achieve emotional fulfillment this year too, okay? Then we have Saturn in that 6th house, whole sign, it's sharing. 6th house Saturn here, just make sure that over this next year that you're not overworking yourself to your detriment. There could be sickness, ailments, and illness popping up if in the case that you're not careful here, okay? Also pay attention to your dreams. That could definitely be utilized within your day-to-day, and also finding a balance between your personal development journey and your spiritual development journey as well, okay? That will definitely be indicated here. Having a connection with the universe, deepening it if it already exists, and implementing that within your day-to-day can also help you to find balance. Setting up energetic boundaries within your day-to-day is going to help you out tenfold here, because you may have a tendency over this next year to take on energy that is not yours within your work environment, within just your day-to-day routine. So just set up those boundaries, okay? Moving on. Oh, by the way, any time here, now, technically, this is your 7th house, so there could be delays in relationships, partnerships, interpersonal connection, or you could be starting a new business. Now, I will say, if in the case that you're starting a business, great for that. Just be sure to establish that connection with the universe. That way you know what steps to take to make your dreams a tangible reality. However, in regards to relationships, there could be some karmic lessons, if not a karmic relationship coming through, or this can even mean if you already gone through your Saturn return, which for you, I think you already have. Yeah, natally you already went through your Saturn return. So I could say that this could be a long-term soulmate connection coming in for you this upcoming year for you, okay? Only thing I'm going to say in regards to Placidus is that Venus here in your 12th house can lead you to go after your spiritual journey from a materialistic perspective, meaning that you may want to benefit on a materialistic level from your spiritual journey. Just be sure here that we're going after your 12th house from a spiritual lens or from your purest energy, because because if you go after it from a materialist standpoint, this can actually bring damage to not only your 12th house, but it can also bring damage to your financial well-being for the next upcoming year. Perhaps community communications, siblings, cousins, your immediate environment will also have an influence too. Yeah, I watched it. Third house is more personal spirituality, and ninth house is less personal. Interesting perspective. Hellenistic astrology is very interesting because you guys do some, like, you guys explain it in such a different way. It clicks for me. The one thing though that I'm still like trying to get wrap my head around was, like, she did a video, and I think I told you last week, it was about the North and the South Node, how she said how modern astrology dictates the North Node as something that we're moving towards, and then the South Node something that we're moving away from. But it's actually opposite in Hellenistic. The North Node is actually what we have access of, and then the South Node is actually the things that we're neglecting. Because the North Node's ruled by Jupiter, the South Node's ruled by Saturn. So in that sense, I was like, okay, but I'm like, I just doesn't resonate in my life because I feel like I'm more in my South Node energy than I'm in my North Node energy. But I don't know. Let's see here. Moving on. Let's see. Now, I will say North Node Chiron in the 8th house whole sign, 7th house Placidus. Now, you may feel as though that you would want a relationship moving forward. You may want an interpersonal connection. And I do definitely feel like it's happening for you. This could be a friend. It could just be a close companion or an encounter. But it's going to be a soulmate-like energy. And it may cause you to transform yourself. But you are urged to move towards prioritizing your healing journey, letting go of what no longer serves you, because this will help you to not only heal yourself, but to heal other people too that you may come across, okay? Now, with Jupiter and Uranus being in your 9th whole sign, I will say it's a great year for spirituality to really, you're gonna have a lot of opportunities to maybe travel, to learn something new about your higher education, your higher self, or perhaps incorporate a new, a new belief system, a new philosophy per se. You may move closer towards your life purpose. It may happen suddenly for you. But as I said, just watching out for not becoming too dogmatic in your beliefs as well too. Now, since Gemini's in your 10th household sign, emotional fulfillment this year could be found in career, status, legacy, life's work. All right. Just be sure here that we're doing things in multiples, okay? Because Gemini in the 10th house, this is your jack of all trades, master of none energy. Okay. And so doing things in multiples can also give you fulfillment, or just feeding into your interest, whatever that may mean to you, okay? But that's pretty much your solar return for this upcoming year. It looks pretty great. Scorpio energy, I'm not so worried about it unless it's on the ascendant. But let's see here. Your chart ruler also sits in the 3rd house. So this is going to be a very chatty year for you. Perhaps you may find your tribe, your community. I don't know if you've been getting some confirmations, messages, signs, synchronicities in regards to coming into regards to your soul tribe, because this is something, or community, or a person, a group, a police, a people. I don't know what this is, but this is something that's going to really have an effect on you on a deep level on this upcoming year. It's going to be a very social year. It's not going to be anything bad or anything that you need to look out for, but I feel it's going to be, you're going to come into contact with like a soul type of connection this upcoming year. If that resonates for you. That's pretty much all I'm seeing for your chart. Thank you. All right. Thank you. This actually gives moving away with 4th house ruler in 9th. Let's see here. Oh, did I exit out of it? Let's see. I think I could bring it back up. Where's my history? Oh. Just bringing that back up real quick. It does resonate. Thank you. Of course. This actually gives moving away with 4th house ruler in 9th. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th house ruler in 9th. Could be moving away this next year. Or, it also could be finding a belief system in regards to finding emotional fulfillment. Or perhaps finding a belief system that's in alignment with your emotional well-being too. Something that helps you to achieve emotional stability, since it's in Taurus too. Also, let's see what else could be going on. This could also be something that suddenly you may find yourself wanting to move towards your life purpose, or wanting to learn more about life purpose, learning more about your higher self as well too. Sometimes I see things I don't want to mention because I don't know how the other person will take it. No, your opinions are valued here. Anybody who's into astrology, into numerology, if I ever talk about it, into tarot, you guys you say it, put it out there, put your opinion out there, because not only can that help somebody, but it also helps you to become more aware of the energy. It helps you to see the patterns in somebody else's chart too. And it gives you good practice, Alara, too, for when you're first putting out your video. Now, don't forget, because I want to be your first reader. Like the seventh house, Saturn is there. So there could be a breakup or fights with friends or partners. Could also represent long-term relationships, too. You know, it is in Pisces, so it could come with a karmic connection, as I said, but usually that's anybody that goes before the Saturn return from what I've seen. Since Desiree has gone through her Saturn return, it could just be a soul connection coming in, but just be sure that you learned your karmic lessons because it could also be that you're repeating some karma too. You know, that could also pop up. But for the most part, pay attention to your dreams, any visions that you may be having in regards to relationships, partnerships, interpersonal connection, because that will help you to, navigate what may be coming in, what energies may be around you. But definitely, I will say, be sure to discern the energy, setting up energetic boundaries for the most part. But yes, definitely put your opinions out there, because that's what helps that's what helps to bring this whole picture together, different perspectives. My perspective is not all correct. I mean, granted, I'm gonna say my perspective, but I could be missing out on certain things. Like Alara, your opinions are very helpful too. It could be, but Saturn is retrograde and it's a night chart, so it gives breakups, tbh. Fair. Let's see. Oh, OMG, yes, love getting all perspectives. Thank you. Of course. Ooh, what is this? My slipper broke. I need new slippers. Let's see. Planning to move next summer. Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut then. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Did anybody else have any questions? Anything? Okay, I'm just gonna drop my opinions then. Yeah, do it. Put yourself out there. Shine your light. Don't dim it because of self-sabotage. Saturn is in it for the long run, so building your foundation and consistency, your routine for your ambitions. Yes, it is. Being Saturn dominant though, let me tell you about it, because it's something different. But that also reminds me too, Saturn's going to be dominant in your chart this year, as well as Neptune too. So you may feel the energy. You also, and you know what, let me do this. Venus, the moon, Saturn, and Neptune are going to be dominant in this in your chart, Desiree, for this upcoming year. So you may feel Venusian energy, Saturnian energy, Neptune energy, and the moon's energy more prominent than other placements. Not saying that you won't feel the other placements, but you may feel Venus, Saturn, Neptune, and moon more. So I will say, let's see here. Major thing to focus on, of course, since this is the solar return chart, of course, is just focusing on your self-worth, your self-value, also finding the balance between giving and receiving, but also communication, developing your skills, siblings, cousins, your immediate environment. Those are going to be major themes for you. But also, I also like to pay attention to the moon, too, in the solar return chart. Maybe I'm unpopular, but also career, status, legacy, life's work, moving towards your life's purpose. Those will all be prominent themes for you that play out. And then the chart ruler where you can best ascend would be, of course, within the developing your worth and value, communication, developing your skills too. All right, so I think that's it for today. I may take a break from lives then, because maybe I'm sensing the pattern here. Or wait, let's see here. Saturn transiting her 6th or 5th. Saturn, I need to stop exiting before the questions come. Give me 1 second. Bear with. Saturn currently is transiting her 10th house. So Saturn right now natally is in the 10th house, but in the solar return, it's going to be transiting the 6th house Placidus. 6th house Placidus, 7th house, 6th house Placidus, or 5th house Placidus, technically, 7th house whole sign. Taking a break. Yeah, because you know what? I did it for a month, but I'm noticing that, I'm going to still show up. But I'm noticing that it's turning into Q&As, and I don't mind doing the Q&As. But even my content, I don't know if it's a TikTok thing or if it's me. Don't you dare take a break from lives, T. Wait a second. Maybe I'll just do the Q&As in the morning. But I may come on later or at night, because I do know that more people tend to come on during that. I usually do it in the daytime, but I may just do a switch and start going on at nights, juxtapose in the mornings when people are at work or they're doing things. But I've been contemplating taking a break, but from content, I haven't done any content recently because I've just become more authentic. Don't leave us alone at autumn. Like, now, like, I like my lives. You know, I was thinking, like, from content creation, I definitely want to take a break because I'm like, I'm not really feeling inspired content-wise, but lives I'll still do. I just may do them more at night. That way more people can come in because I usually go live during the mornings. I started doing it in the afternoon and people would, you know, come during their breaks and everything like that. But I was living in New York at the time. And I'm also noticing my energy shift here in Texas. But I don't know. I'm just like... oh, okay, I'm always awake anyway. But you're at a major time difference from me, too. I'm surprised that you're here now. But yeah, I do want to start going on more, like, later in the day. That way, more people can come in. It could be like a conversation. You know how it used to be, Alara? Like, how everybody used to come in. We used to chat. I used to do the readings. It used to be a good time. I mean, it's still a good time, too. But I like the, you know what, though? I'm not gonna lie. I miss what it used to be, but at the same time, I don't. Because I like the more intimate lives. Because I know who's in the room. And I could just chat with people. Juxtapose there being, like, 100 or 300 people in a room. And I don't know anybody. And, like, the comments are just going crazy. And I can't see who's saying what, because by the time I get to read the word it reloads it, and I forget where the comment went. But taking a look at the polls real quick. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, 33-33. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, 50. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, not here today. And Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, 1667. It's all Moomoo's fault for real, T. Now, I'm not going to throw that slander. But, yeah, no, I was thinking about him the other day. I do hope he's doing well. I do. But yeah, no, it's just back then, or earlier this year, I should say, it feels like a lifetime ago, but earlier in the year, I used to go on live in the afternoons, but mornings here they tended to work better for me here for the first, like, month, but I'm like, okay, it just means that I'll just start doing it at night. Because it seems like more people are on at night. I just wanted someone to blame, but it's a JK. Oh, yeah, no, I know, I got you. But, yeah, no, like, I may just go on at night. But after today, I don't know. I'm like, Wednesday I'll go on in the evening. So how about that? Wednesday I will go on in the evening, see how things play out. And then that will be that. But as for this morning, I think we're going to wrap it up today. But that's pretty much it for today. Let's see here. I didn't use Astro Charts, Alara, so you got lucky. You got lucky this time round. Yeah, we'll wait. But yeah, I'll probably just be on later in the night. Or just depending on how I feel. Because the last thing I want to do, really, is go on live and force myself to do something that my energy is not in alignment with. You know, usually, and that's probably why I've been going on in the mornings, juxtapose the afternoon, because I just felt like doing it in the mornings. Plus, it follows my routine quite well. Because usually after I do live, that I finished everything that I needed to do for the day. But if I change it to, like, later on in the night, I feel like more people will come in. They're coming off of work. You know, they'll ask the questions. It'll be a better time. Nah, don't force it. Yeah, and that's the thing I don't want to do. I don't want to force it, like, you know, just force going on for the sake of, like, oh, you know, I'm doing this just for doing it, you know, and then, like, it's just not, the energy's not right, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think I'm going to go for it this morning. I probably will be back Wednesday night if I'm not going to Dave & Buster's. It really depends. But I will probably be back at most latest the afternoon, all right? But until next time, I fare thee well. Take care, everybody. Oh, by the way, before you go, be sure to book any private readings if in the case that you want through Universal Analysis. I do astrology, numerology, and tarot. Link is in the bio. For astrology books, I do have Beginner's Guide to Life Astrology Edition and the Astrological Tea Falling Down the Rabbit Hole. Both are available at Trevor Sebastian Publishing. Link in bio. All right, I'll see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.